And breaking news, we've been watching illegal fireworks going off across Southern California. You have been hearing them
all night long since about 8 o'clock or earlier, and these aren't safe and sane. We've now learned LAPD alone has received more than 1,000 complaint reports about these illegal fireworks going off in neighborhoods. And police are saying they're doing their best to respond to all of the calls. But as you can imagine, the numbers are just overwhelming.
Yeah, they're asking people not to call 911 to report fireworks.
Oh my gosh.
Am I supposed to be talking right now?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, because the feed hasn't left commercial yet. Okay, just let me know.
Drums are playing.
Oh, the drums are playing?
Yeah.
Okay, just cue me when the drums stop.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we'll power through this. Get a good rant. You know what? On air. Are we on air? Okay, there. Oh wow, and it's out of sync. Lovely. Wow, and it's out of sync. Okay, here we go. Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is glad to hear that Harvard University will be opening classes in the fall. Though they will be online, it's nice to know that they will still be charging the same $50,000 a year tuition fee for the students to do what YouTube can do for free. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube and you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not July 7th in the strange year of 2020, then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this. An appeaser is one who feeds a crocodile, hoping it will eat him last. Who said that? Winston Churchill. A variation of that from the apocalypse world is that I don't have to run faster than the zombies. I just have to run faster than you. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sometimes sassy, and she's always lethal, especially during the end times. That's Karen B. What's going on, Karen?
Hey. Not what?
Not much.
No.
Yeah.
Not right this second.
Yeah. I missed you last week when you were at the beach. I watched your videos.
Did you?
Yeah, of you and Ted and Brian Stavely.
Yeah.
Showing off your beach skills.
Yes.
Nice to also see that you weren't wearing your masks.
No, I can say that I have never worn a mask, not one time, once, ever, for anything during this whole thing.
Well, we'll see what after next week's rant. So this week's rant, we'll get to that in a minute. Next week's rant, it's going to be called "When a Plan Comes Together." And we'll see if you see how long you can hold out. I don't expect anyone to hold out forever. You've held out longer than just about anyone. Even I've had to cave in twice.
Really?
Yeah. Once.
Doctor, hospital related.
Yeah, one was hospital related, and one was something else, and it was very brief. I really, really despise them. But after next week's rant, you will find out that it's not going to matter soon. Eventually, that whole mask thing's going to be reversed, and the mask of compliance will turn into the mask of non-compliance. So you have to tune in next week to find out why. Hey, Karen, when you wake up to the flat Earth reality, it can be a lonely place. Talking with friends and family can become contentious and often doesn't end well. Sometimes being gunned down. There is nothing more exciting than waking up a family member or close friend from the globe lie. One of the best ways to do this is by gifting the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, and then asking them to take the Flat Earth Clock Challenge. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you ever spent. Oh, and somebody sent me a joke just for you, Karen. You ready? Just for you. It's literally, and I can't remember who it was. What do you call a gay Sasquatch?
I knew it was about Bigfoot. What do you call a gay Sasquatch?
Yeah.
I don't know. I give up. What do you call a gay Sasquatch?
Tenderfoot.
Tenderfoot.
Yeah. Look, I didn't write it. Tenderfoot. Somebody, I get emails like every once in a while. It's like, say hi to Karen for me. In this case, it was like, yeah, I know it's a Bigfoot joke for Karen. Okay, let's get right into it. The rant. You ready, Karen? You got your drink. You ready to sit down for some ranty smoothness? I
do not have my drink, but I'll go get one.
You might as well get one. Turn it up while you're doing it. You don't want to miss this. Okay. A little sip of water. The official title for this rant is Things I Will Miss About the Stars and Stripes. Other titles I considered were What I Will Miss About the United States and America's War Against the New World Order. That may sound somewhat dramatic and overhyped, but I'm completely serious. You may smirk and make a funny face, but consider this. Right now, Europe is opening its flight borders to most of the world, the notable exception being America. If you believe the mainstream narrative, the virus has hit no country harder than us. We handled the entire thing irresponsibly, and apparently there are bodies piling in the streets again. That, of course, isn't true, but most of the world believes it. This is not a test. This is not a drill. The NWO, let's just call them the Order, after decades of planning, is finally making its last moves against the United States. I suppose one of the first questions you might have is, why is the Order picking on America? The short answer is that America is still a bunch of rebels. We are a loose cannon in the world. We do what we want and don't have much patience for anyone who goes against us, or says anything about us, or even looks at us funny. Go ahead, make our day. Put up or shut up, and take this job and shove it. We started or finished 8 different major wars, sure, but we also engaged in petty vendettas, like when we changed French fries to freedom fries for a while because France wouldn't sign off on one of our agreements. Past empires have tried to take over the world, but as any military leader knows, the problem lies in a standing army. If you are strong enough, you can take an area by force, but the only way to hold it is by deploying troops to stay there. Over time, they have all faced rebellion and had to withdraw. The short version is that even Rome fell. If they can lose, then you have to rethink your tactics. The Order then decided that the only way to create a one-world government wasn't by military might alone, but a creation of a conformist society where everyone was linked together by a common denominator. Seems like a solid plan. All it takes is money and time. Except that there was this country called America. You couldn't get them to go along with anything. Remember the metric system? The whole world decided that this was a great idea all the way back in the 70s. Not America, though. No, we like our inch, yard, mile, and pound just fine, thank you. Centimeters and kilos are for those Europeans with their high fashion and expensive cheeses. We were too busy saying things like, might makes right. From that one motto, we built the coolest military the world has ever known. Think you can invade the U.S.? How? We have two massive oceans on either side, Canada to the north and Mexico to the south, both filled with so many operatives we could respond with nukes before your first soldier got out of bed in the morning. We have the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, even a Coast Guard for good measure. We have the FBI, CIA, NSA, Naval Intelligence, and other scarier alphabet groups we don't even make public. You really want to take on a country that has a place called Area 51? Part of me wants to know what goes on there, but another part of me doesn't, and for good reason. It's full of secrets. Even after we inflated our military budget to obscene levels, it still wasn't enough. We had Hollywood build special guns for action heroes, then sold those guns as souvenirs to the general public. They didn't have to arm us. We paid for it with our own money. There are literally more guns in the U.S. than there are actual citizens. How's that for genius? We have layers upon layers of defense, truly the last great castle nation of the world. The order knew this, of course, knew that there was no way to stop the U.S. by conventional means, so they devised a plan. Create economic chaos, polarize the nation by party, by race, by gender, by whatever means necessary, and watch us divide ourselves into camps. Then you release a perceived threat, like a virus, to keep everyone confused and afraid until it's time to unveil their shining beacon of hope. But that secret is for another rant and another time. This rant is about some of the great things that made America the coolest villain ever. We became so popular that some of you were flattered when our gaze turned your way. Like the movie saying goes, once Regina George punched me in the face. It was awesome. We said that greed is good and created an army of people who thought the American dream should be achieved at any cost. There were too many Gordon Geckos to count, and they built financial towers that were breathtaking. We told kids that winning isn't everything, it's the only thing, and molded athletes who would literally lie, cheat, steal, and kill to become champions. Then we would act surprised when they got caught. Our gift to culture was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. We lifted artists onto pedestals, then pulled them down when the fame was too much, or we got bored, whichever came first. Our national anthem is played at every professional game, and the bread and circuses of America runs 24/7. The baseball season overlaps the start of football season, which overlaps basketball. Every day of the year, our song was played to countless thousands. There are many people out there who still don't know the words. It goes something like this. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. If you heard music while I read that, there might still be some hope for you. The U.S. flag is everywhere. We see it from the time we enter school until the grave, and yet most Americans can only tell you what the stars are, not the stripes. The 50 stars, of course, represent the 50 states, but what about the red and white stripes? Hint, there are 13 of them. If you said the original 13 colonies, then you would be correct. The founding states were Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Delaware, New York, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Georgia. For those who are against colonialism, you need look no further than our flag, because that's what it represents. Colonialism is why we're all here, because independent groups in search of fortune and power decided to colonize land. If you were on that land, then you were in our way. If you feel that this was wrong, please, by all means, write your local government official and petition to give it back to the original owners, although it's going to be difficult. Take Texas, for example. Mexico laid claim to it, but Native Americans also lived there without any formal government. How do you resolve that exactly? America literally became the greatest show on earth, and other nations looked in awe and wonder. How did we ever make it this far without burning the whole thing down? We used to sell cocaine and opium across the counter at drugstores. We used to sell machine guns to the general public. We used to have the Wild West, where you could shoot first and ask questions later. Oh, we had brief moments of clarity. We stopped making and serving alcohol in the U.S. for 13 entire years. It created a new era of criminals whose entire job was to get booze to the people. We made electric guitars, blue jeans, and people went to the drive-ins in huge cars with no seatbelts. We have no patience, so food became fast food, and people yelled at their microwaves to hurry up. 3 minutes is far too long. Restaurants served portions so big you always had leftovers, but we always forgot the to-go box because we were so full. We lined up 20 deep for $6 drinks that used to be 50 cents a cup coffee. We are Ronald McDonald and theme parks and rock stars throwing televisions out of hotel windows. We built a time machine out of a DeLorean, but we also thought up Sharknado. We are gay rights and we are black sites. Even when we make mistakes, we seem to be able to turn a profit from it. Can't make a battlefield skin suture work? Sell it to the general public as super glue. Can't get a blood pressure medicine to be effective? Slap on a new label and call it Viagra. You're welcome. We are a paradox and just make the rules up as we go. We create horror movies with monsters that will not die, and yet we tell kids there is nothing under the bed. We are baseball and apple pie, but we are also cage matches and Hot Pockets. We lift our chins too high while saying we had men walk on the moon, but suspiciously never go back to rub it in. Our producers went to other countries with bags of money and bought the best that media has to offer. We bought actors from the UK, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and we purchased voices from anywhere that accepted the dollar, which everyone was happy to do. But all that changed in January of 2020. The order apparently has had enough of our bad boy mentality. Was our media culture disrupting the calm of the world? Did we take it too far, like we always seem to do? Difficult to say. It's true that reality television hasn't done us any favors, and our movie production has been in decline since 1999. And only in America could you get away with a show literally called Lucifer, where the devil teams up with Los Angeles police to fight crime, because he's not a bad guy, he's just misunderstood. Is this the beginning of the end of the United States of America? Albert Einstein was once asked what weapons will be used in World War III. He answered with this: I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. America is currently going through a tunnel. What emerges on the other side of that tunnel is unknown. But I can tell you it will be a much different country than what you knew back in 2019. If future historians come across this and decide to reflect on what the USA was, know that we tried to be everything that was good and bad in humanity. We were big tobacco and big pharma, but we were also the Justice League and the Avengers. And yes, sometimes we were Thanos. When we were young, we played with Barbie and G.I. Joe. When we got older, we played with Colt and Smith & Wesson. We were Harley Davidsons and Jack Daniels. We got into our pickup trucks and went to the car show or the air show, and while we were at it, picked up 2 tickets to the gun show. We were muscle cars and Coca-Cola Slurpees. We were billionaires living in ivory towers and homeless living in cardboard shacks on the streets below. And yeah, sometimes we had to choose between church and the playoffs because, for God's sakes, it was the frickin' playoffs. We may not have been right, and sometimes we had no idea what we were doing, but I double dog dare ya to find me a country more fun and interesting than the USA. We were the party, and you all wanted to be invited. We mixed in just about every culture and idea you could imagine. Ingredients in not just a melting pot, but a vast cauldron. And often it was a wonder to behold. If this is our fate, then I suppose it's long overdue and much deserved. To the New World Order, who currently holds our future and will eventually pass judgment, I have only one thing left to say. We were the United States of America, and you will remember us. There you go. That's my rant.
That was very nice, Mark.
Thank you. Inspired by the 4th of July and the fun stuff that Los Angeles did. I don't know if you saw the clips I was throwing in the Funky Bunch, where they had banned most 4th of July celebrations throughout the country, parades and fireworks shows. You saw that?
Well, I heard about it, that they had some stuff.
Oh my God. Well, it just went off. I mean, everybody bought their own and just decided to light them up in their backyards. And it looked like Los Angeles was in a war zone. It was so cool. It's never happened before in Los Angeles. And it was just utterly inspiring. The news helicopters were flying overhead and they were like chastising the people, saying they shouldn't be doing this. And their banner headline said illegal fireworks. It's like, what did you expect them to do? You can't just.
How dare you be happy?
Exactly.
Thebes.
Cancel the 4th of July? No. It's one of those things that, that's the big event of the summer. And we even saw it up here on the island. I've never heard fireworks go and seen them go for as long as they did. There's all the beaches, they went 2 and 3 times longer than I've ever seen them go, because people's like, you know what? Let's go for frickin' broke. Why not? What are they going to do? So people were just tired of it. So it was neat. So,
that's what we've always done over here. We always light the fireworks in our own yard anyway.
Yeah.
And we got the biggest fireworks warehouse around here.
Nice.
The big boom.
Yeah. Yeah. For me,
I care about celebrating, really. It's like when you were doing your talk, I was thinking about when you were reciting that song. When you say land of the free, home of the brave, I was thinking it's more like land of the fees and home of the slaves.
Yeah. Well, again, that's this particular rant. Most of it was done in past tense because we've had a hell of a run, but the world is forcing our hand, and as America goes, the rest of the world is going to go. And so we are being picked on, definitely, more than most. We know it. If you're going to go after anybody, there's lots of countries that will just fold like a freaking card table. But America is so stubborn. And so you've got to use the most extreme measures to go after us. And so far they have been. They have been dividing us in so many different ways. Political parties, that's just one sector of it. Race is another. Gender is another. Who knows what they're going to put into play next? It's just crazy. Who would have thought that this time last year, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to be tearing down statues, all kinds. Just tearing them down.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. When are the aliens coming, Mark?
Look, I can put in as many requests as I want, but they're on a schedule. And they're saying, look, we can't go until these things happen. It's like, oh, come on, you're killing me. I'm so tired. We'll see. I'm crossing my fingers that good things will happen. I just, it's the hero's journey.
Alien invasion?
Well, yeah, I know. It's not good when you're looking forward to an alien invasion. But for a lot of, again, we'll get into it next week as far as next week I'm going to lay out what I think is going to happen over the next 6 months. And most of it's conventional. I'm not going to get into the alien stuff next week, but what's going to happen over the next 6 months is going to, it's a brilliant plan, which is why I mentioned the order several times here. That is the what they've set into motion. It's kind of like chess, where if you're a really arrogant chess player, it's like, oh yeah, I've got you in 7 moves or 8 moves. And I keep looking at this and going, wow, the order could really take us in probably 3 moves, 4 if they decide to twist the knife, and 5 if they get flashy. And that's all it's going to take, and it'll work. It'll absolutely work. I mean, there's a slight outside chance that it could go wrong, but I don't know. I think we've dodged too many bullets. We'll see.
That's kind of depressing, Mark.
I know. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I'm gonna try to spin it in a way that's like, look, it's up to you. I'm not gonna say it's oh, death and sorrow and grief and murder. A little banjo twang after that. I'm going to say, look, it's up to you. I'll tell you what's
it's
coming.
true, though. I agree. I actually agree with you. People need to pull their heads out of their asses at this point. Like, Brian and I have talked about this, that people who say, oh, I know the truth, but I just can't say anything, like closet truthers.
Right.
There's no time for that now. Now you need to talk. You need to speak up. You need to stick up for yourself, and you need to tell people that they're being brainwashed idiots.
Yep.
Or else they're going to get us all. They're going to ruin it for the rest of us. They are ruining it for the rest of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's, I mean, I get it. I know what they're trying to do. We kind of talked about it last week. But for America, it's going to be the toughest. It's going to be definitely a hero's journey. But we have a chance. We have a chance. Again, we've pulled off miracles before. So the question is, can we do it one last time? Don't know. When we come back, we'll take some phone calls. I want to talk about an email I got from a guy that sent me some really great information about the ISS. Might as well throw some flat Earth stuff in there. But we'll definitely take calls from California and Olympia and Canada and whoever else calls, and we'll see how this thing goes. Oh, right. So now we get it. We can't wait for the commercial. So we'll have to let Peanut check to see if the commercial's kicking in, because it should be kicking in now. Otherwise, we're just going to have to go to dead air, I think. So, Peanut, let me know. Because remember, there's that 8-second delay or 5-second delay. So I don't want to just keep talking.
Oh boy.
I know, right? Throws the thing off. Any music, any commercials there, Peanut?
That's why we can't hear the music.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. TLR.
Truth Frequency Radio. Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 2 of 4. It's you, me, and Karen B. And yeah, you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album, Night and Day. Sorry for talking through the commercials. It's just tough because Karen and I don't hear the music or the commercials now. So we've just got dead air on our side. So we can talk, and there's absolutely nothing disrupting us. So screw you guys.
You suck.
Oh, hey, it's Brian Burton.
Yeah.
How are you, Master Gunner? What's happening?
I am great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Just awesome.
Well, can you elaborate on why it is awesome? And by the way, hi to Globebusters, who said that we can hear every word you were saying, and you just gave up Peanuts like Daddy. Yeah, I'm not worried about Peanut. Don't worry about him. He's not like the Stig. He'll live. So what's happening? What'd you think of my rant?
I liked it.
Thank you.
Though I don't think we'll go away that easy. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't think we're going to go with that easy either.
Too stubborn. West Virginia, Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just it, though. The plan that they're going to roll out will create the most division it'll make the division we've seen so far pale in comparison.
Oh, definitely.
Because it'll be, and I'll give you guys a little hint of what next week is going to be about. And even though David Weiss swears that it's from one of the think tanks that advises me on a regular basis, which is the vaccine and how that's going to be rolled out, exactly how it's going to be rolled out. I'll even give you some of the fun little hype words they're going to use. And then the mask versus no mask thing, which is everything's going to be reversed, and that's going to throw people for a freaking loop. And the third thing, and I will mention it next week, of course, which is that whoever becomes president is going to back the vaccine. It does not matter at this state. Biden, Trump, makes no difference. Whoever's in there will back the vaccine program, and it will upset some on the right if it's Trump. If it's on the left, it'll just infuriate the right. But if it's on Trump, they'll feel bad. But what did you expect? Look, you should consider yourself lucky that Trump went with no mask. And
what if it's Kanye though?
Yeah, Kim Kardashian, first lady. I don't think so. No.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that part.
Exactly. You really gonna send her on a goodwill tour of the world? No one would even begin to take her seriously. I mean, they have a hard time with oh crap, what's his wife's name again?
Melania.
What is it?
Who?
Trump.
Melania.
Yeah. Melania. I keep thinking of the daughter.
This lady's name.
I know why you're thinking of the daughter.
No. Because his first, you can't remember. Trump's been around for a while, so I remember one of his wives.
Yes. Do you remember Marla Maples?
Yeah. That. Oh, hey. So I'm sorry, Brian. Did you want something to say before I got into this little email real quick?
No, go ahead and go into your email.
Okay. So it's very, very short.
Mm-hmm.
It's a guy that sent me some information. In fact, I'll dump it into chat for you guys. He's been tracking the ISS, and he noticed that on a Mercator map, it shows up as this kind of up and down line, but he plotted it on the flat Earth map, and sure enough, it's a perfect circle. But it's not a perfect circle around the entire area. It goes over mostly Europe, Africa, and it leaves Australia completely alone, which I thought was interesting. And so he wanted me to give him credit, so I'm going to. And he writes, Mark, if you go to mention my observations, hopefully on your YouTube channel, would you mind giving me the credit for those observations? Mention a painter from Crystal Lake, Illinois, with a Nikon P1000, made these observations from his backyard, and a simple Google search for the ISS findings. I also post all my moon and star pictures and videos I take with my Nikon or my, what was that? FP? Facebook page. I'm trying to grow. Can you link it in your next video? After that, you can have all the credit. And there's a Facebook page called Starlight Crystal Lake. Anyway, he was very, very excited that I wrote him, and so I want to give him the credit. So good for you. His name is, am I supposed to say his name? No, I'm not supposed to say.
How do you give him credit then?
Well, his Facebook page.
You know what? This opens my eyes. I know how the ISS works now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's attached to a string attached to Kansas, and they swing it around in a circle.
Nice.
Notice the United States is centered.
Good
I know
point.
you guys can't see my D-Live stream, but I actually have the Tesla. I have the space Tesla, and I can hang it and I can let it fly through my little stream on my video camera. It's pretty cool. I have it hanging on a string, just like the ISS.
Nothing cool about a space Tesla. Just saying.
By the way, I heard that Elon was backing Kanye.
Yes.
That's very exciting.
No,
of course,
yeah.
if he really was backing him, I mean, he's got the money. He could, give him $100 million for his campaign.
Well, for the record, he hasn't filed yet. He just said it on TV.
I know. I don't think he's going to.
I don't think so. Although we talked about if he did, why. But anyways, we won't go into that.
But again, it doesn't matter because it does not matter who. And I know people are listening. It's like, no, Trump must win. Well, if you believe in the puppet masters, if you believe in the order, then Trump should win because Trump would create more division than if Biden won. If Biden wins, the right's going to be like, they're just going to wave it off like a bad football game, where you're blown out. It's like, screw it. We'll get him next week.
Biden himself already said he was going to be a transitional president. He said that.
Yeah, and he may be giving, or maybe they're telling him stuff. Remember, Hillary was convinced that she had this sucker sewn up. But Biden also said that if Trump loses, he expects the military to forcibly eject him from the White House.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, again,
say a bunch of stupid crap all the time. Why does anybody pay any attention to anything these jerks are saying?
Because it's funny.
Because most of the general public are mouth-breathing troglodytes. Plain and simple. There's nothing.
And all the crap that they're saying. I know it's.
They have to listen. Remember, everything you've heard me say this. Everything on television from the news is absolutely true, and it is heresy to question it. And that's because there are no independent networks outside of the internet. Thank God for the internet. In fact, the internet wasn't up, we'd be in really sad shape, I think. Although the internet's part of the plan, so that's why they believe it. If it's on the news, it's absolutely true. And if you're over a certain age, you have no choice. I mean, remember what happened with the virus when this thing started. They convinced a lot of people over the age of 60 that they were literally in mortal peril. It's like,
people of a whole lot of dumb stuff. And I got to be honest, when all this stuff went down, it was pretty depressing to see everybody fold and just buckle and do all this nonsensical stuff that hurts themselves. That everybody's hurting themselves and they don't even know it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's insanity.
And then they throw in the protests, and I'm not going to give out the acronym because I don't want to give anybody ammunition, but they threw in the protests for good measure, and I thought that was genius, which was, you protest against the masks and you're killing grandma, but if you protest against statues, it's not even patriotic. I don't even know what it is. It's your civil duty. So yes, please, by all means, mass in the thousands, get tear gas, hack up lungs and bodily fluids all over each other. That's perfectly fine. No problem. Got no problem with that. But if you go out and you protest on the right, well, again, you're killing grandma.
Well, here's the other problem with that, too. I don't know if, Karen, you've heard about this or not, but Florida announced today that the public schools are required to open in August. Brick and mortar schools.
Yeah, my school, or the schools over here, are opening in August, and they're opening early.
Now, I don't know about you all or the people out there, but when I went to school, half my teachers were like over 65 probably. Well, they appeared to be, Teachers are older.
No, a lot of the teachers are younger. Some of them are older. A couple have retired over here in this school district, but a lot of them are younger. I don't know.
A lot of the school stuff is trickle down, which is what's happening here. It's bigger than just the high schools and the middle schools. It's the big money that's pushing it. It's being pushed from the top down. And think about this. It's the universities that you have to keep open. You've got to open those things up because they make so much money. And what you do not want to happen is you do not want to create, because it's never happened in our history, a gap year. Meaning, there are universities out there that are on the fringe of closing right now, big ones.
Oh yeah.
Because you've got, let's say, 30,000 students enrolled, and you're not taking a dime from any of them. Whoa! I mean, that's a huge.
Well,
you can't fill that with anything.
Harvard fixed that problem evidently from your thing in the beginning of the show.
There you go. Harvard's a perfect example, And so all it did was you had to take mostly your Ivy League, Harvard and Yale and Princeton, and you have them go to their alums in the government and say, look, you really got to tell people to get back to school, even though it goes against the other narrative, which is mainstream media saying, be afraid, don't open up anything ever, ever, ever. Well, try telling that to thousands of universities out there across the country that are because you don't want to give people the chance to all of a sudden reevaluate their futures. Because if kids take a gap year, there's a solid chance that a bunch of them aren't going to be there the next year after that. And then your revenue stream goes way, way down. So what they're doing with so they'll pin it on the high schools and the junior highs, and they'll say, "Oh, we're putting children in danger." That's not what it's about. It's about the universities. The universities, because the high schools and the junior highs, of course, there's money there too, depending if it's a private school or a public school. But think of even like a state school like Arizona or University of Washington or any big state school. We're talking about huge amounts of kids going in there, and each of them now, of course, it's what, $25,000 a year. So yeah, we'll see.
They could keep all those schools going if they want to. If they want to indoctrinate people, they can keep doing it if they want.
It's not that easy. I mean,
come on, the governments can put a grant. Oh, we must keep our schools going. Come on.
Yeah, but
they're not going to close them.
No, they are closing some.
Well, I mean, some are already in the process of it. But
what's closing? Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, schools are no different than restaurants, which are no different from corporations.
Schools are different, especially universities. Those are universities.
You'd think
they're
so,
private.
But they make money like anyone else.
No, they're private. Universities are private.
Yeah, I mean, you can only go. You remember the alumni get called every year from the university. Well, you can call alumni all you want in this case. It's not going to help you because we're talking about a total. The revenue stream just falls off a cliff. Anyway, hey, should we pick up a call? We got a couple people waiting out there for a while.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go out to West Coast. 530. It's you, me, Karen B, and sometimes Master Gunner. What's happening out there?
Well, hello there, Karen, Mark, and Brian, Master Gunner. This is William.
Hi, William.
Hey, Willie.
Hey. Hey there. Nice rant again.
Thank you.
I would say I'm pretty much on board with what you said, and I'm hoping I can do this without messing it up. I'm just thinking this off the top of my head. 3 questions.
Yeah.
In the spirit of the Matrix, when Morpheus is talking to Neo during his fight scene.
Yeah.
How are they beating us? How are they making us wear these masks?
Right.
How are they doing it?
Oh, is that a question? I've got the answer.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely. Let's go for it.
They used it's kind of like judo. They used our best weapon against us. Our best weapon was not the military. It was the media. We dominate in culture so much, not because it's power. It's because it's power perceived. We generate so much media, fast food media, basically. And we're so loud about it, and we fire it off everywhere that all of a sudden they figured out, it's like, wait a minute, all we have to do is, severely influence the media with a particular narrative, and hit the higher network execs with whatever, and because whoever's on television, you got to remember, those aren't the guys you have to yell at. They're just reading a teleprompter. All of them are basically Ron Burgundy. And that's it. And you just push the narrative, push it, and repeated it. And that's how they've been beating us so far. And it's worked. I mean, it's been brilliant.
What I'm hearing you saying is, do you think that these elite who run these news organizations, are they really that much smarter and stronger than us?
No. They're just following orders from people that are even higher than them. No, God, no. Network execs, really? Harvey Weinstein, a brilliant man? No. No.
So do you think that them or us will have anything to do with what's going to go down in this realm against God's will?
and probably another discussion for another time. But
I know. I'm just. And then last question.
Yeah.
Do you think those are your thoughts you're having?
Is that air I'm breathing now? Yeah. Yeah. Hard to say.
Your thoughts you're thinking right now.
I'm just rolling with it at this point. I decided at some point 5 years ago that I just wasn't going to fight this world anymore. I stopped digging into my heels that much and just take it where I think it wants to take me. So that's all I got.
I've come to think this. There's nothing that comes from striving. And the Bible's pretty clear on that. Jesus didn't strive. He just was and just spoke the truth. And men and the Pharisees didn't like it. So that's all we've really got to do. And when you do this, you'll get a peace that surpasses all understanding, even in the midst of chaos. So I think that's where we're at. We're headed to chaos. I honestly think that. I have a peace. I don't understand it. I'm thankful for it. And if I can share and speak the truth to anybody who's willing to listen, anywhere from the homeless to the president, then I'll do so. But, it's his show. We're just along for the ride, right? So,
Yep.
I've, like I told you, I studied the Bible for 16 years, and that's nothing compared to some people. I know that. But I think God's less impressed with what we know and more about how we're willing to go through suffering and pain to bring the truth, no matter what the cost to our own selves.
Right.
And so I think there's going to be a lot of immoral people, a lot of sinners in heaven. I think they're going to be shocked because we all fall short, right? So I'm thinking this is shaking things up, and it's showing people's true hearts and who's liars and who is not. And I know because of what's happened 5 years ago, I will not go along with a lie. I can't go along with a lie. That would be going along with Satan. I don't care where it comes from, and then if you don't know, then that's fine. That's one thing. But at the same time, we can't be upset at someone who hasn't seen the light, because just like the gospel, that's given by God the Father as well. He gives you the ability to believe it. And that way nobody can brag here on earth. And so that's pretty simple. It's not complicated. Men always complicate things. So that's it. I just that's all I got. I don't know. It's quite a show that's going on, and at this point, I'm living every day, just worrying about today, how I'm going to act and treat people, and that's all we can do, right, Karen? I always ask you, Karen, because I sometimes feel like you're so quiet sometimes.
I am.
Is she there? She must have went. And that's all. I really appreciate you as well. I'm like I said, I'll never forget your testimony you gave, and so I think about that as well, and not in a weird way, in an awesome way. I agree. So Brian, don't know you too well, Master Gunner, but thanks for all that you guys do, and just keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and who knows what'll happen, right?
Right on. All right, man. Have a good one. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Take care.
Well, let's jump over to the East Coast.
Is he hearing me? Are y'all hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Was there a point where we couldn't hear you?
I don't know, because Williams, it seemed like he was asking if I was there.
Oh no, I heard you for a second when you were talking. Hey, 516, are you there?
Yeah, Mark, but I'm just listening.
Okay, no worries. I'll put you back on mute. Keep driving. Ooh. Okay, let's jump over to 360. This could be a former Amazon employee now turned. I don't know what she's doing now. What are you doing now, Dottie?
Oh, well, I finally made my way into the Spy Academy Association.
Yeah. Association. Wow.
FAA?
Yeah. It's,
Or the SAA?
it's top secret. I'm not allowed to disclose more information or else I'll have to kill you. So, yeah, I made it.
Wow. You don't ever try to enter any of the buildings that I hang out with. That will not fly. So
Yeah, I'll
is
have
this
my
a
homemade
spy academy?
laminated name tag.
Academy
What's
Association.
that? Yeah, the Spy Academy Association.
What?
It's very official.
Is that the SPA? Oh.
Yeah. You haven't heard?
Spy
I'm
Academy
shocked.
Association, but that's a Mandela effect. It was formerly known as the Spy Academy Agency.
Nice.
Yep, there it is. Karen knows. She's with it.
What's going on, Dottie?
Well, I'm kind of curious. At what point is it harassment for people to keep trying to enforce me to wear a mask? Because, if I don't want to and I'm healthy and I'm an adult and I don't feel that I need to wear a mask, aren't you harassing me and causing me emotional damage to continue to berate me to wear a mask? I had an issue with a guy at work today who was very mad that we weren't enforcing masks. So, that's just hot on my mind. But
No, because it's for your own good. And whatever the media determines is for your own good is allowed.
Yeah, it's a special circumstance, so it kind of goes both ways. I mean, there's no law on the books right now, and I've watched a number of things where the police can write you tickets, but they're absolutely not enforceable. There's nothing on the books. The thing that's carrying it, though, is the peer pressure. And that is, you have so many people that are wearing it now that look at, see you as a threat and, not even really a threat, just somebody who's a rabble rouser. They see, you're going against the grain and, but no, you can't.
Yeah, at this point.
If you couldn't hire a lawyer and sue somebody for harassing you. At the same time, somebody can't sue you for not wearing a mask, as far as I know. But but I wouldn't even worry about that too much because and I'll talk about this next week, because in about 6 months, all that's going to be reversed. Maybe 7 months.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. But all that's going to flip, and no one's going to give you any crap about wearing it. Well,
Did you just say 6 weeks, maybe 7 months?
no, 6 months, 7 months.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to be that specific.
I was like, wow.
It's like, no, what time is it now? Okay. So in 3 hours.
Well, you know what? Hey, Dottie,
What?
I'll tell you something. So I had to get a new phone because I melted mine in my car. It gets hot here. And so I walked in the store and they started taking my information, like they do, hi, can we help you with that? And then she goes, well, we require you to wear a mask in here, so we'll be glad to give you one. And I said, nah, that's okay, and turned around and walked out. As I was walking out, she goes, we'll help you in your car. I left the store, went 2 blocks to another store of the same type, and yeah, they were cool, no mask.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense at all. I went to a leather craft store and they wouldn't let me in without a mask, but then I went to Walmart and Starbucks without a mask and nobody said anything, and they just then some guy threw a fit at my work because I wasn't wearing a mask, and my manager isn't going to stand at the door telling customers coming in that they have to wear one too.
That's the big thing, and that's how we've raised the younger millennials and the Gen Zers, and that is public. First off, face-to-face communications. That's not their primary, and so asking them to stand at a door and try to be a bouncer is not even remotely in their job description, and it certainly isn't for minimum wage. And so a lot of them be like, oh, and it's so negative. There's nothing positive about standing at a door and going after someone and saying, hey, you can't come without a mask, because the reactions are going to be from just simple annoyance to people that are going to lose it. I mean, there was a person, oh God, it was last week. I think it was the day after we did the show. A guy pulls up in a drive-through line, and the Hispanic girl, I just mentioned, just for demographics purposes, the Hispanic girl inside the drive-through wouldn't give him his food, would give him his bags unless he put on the mask in his own car. And he decided he was going to lose it, so he said, really?
Hey, Mark.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number. Wherever you are, make it Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. You, me, Karen B, and sometimes Master Gunner Brian Burton. We are talking about all the chaos that's happening in the world around us. We're taking phone calls. I should probably give out the phone number. 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Karen, are you still with me?
I am.
Wonderful. Master Gunner, are you still hanging around?
Yes, I'm still hanging around. Yeah. Slipping.
You got
slippery.
You always sound like you're far away. That's all right.
I am. You're all the way in Washington. I'm all the way in here.
Oh God, I shouldn't have never brought it up. All right, let's grab a call from Canada. Let's do 306. 306, you're on Strange World. And we got some feedback. Got to turn down your radio, son. Oh, God. Okay, just go keep listening. I think he's just listening in the background.
All righty.
All right, let's go back to... Let's go out to 214. Now, that's Grand Prairie, Texas. Yeah, that's some good boys down there. Grand Prairie. 214.
Hey, a big howdy from deep in the middle of Dallas-Fort Worth.
Hey.
Oh, Chris Pontius here.
Oh, it's Chris Pontius. Hey, Chris
Hello.
Pontius. What's happening?
Hey, Mark. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
And Brian.
Yeah.
I called because I have an announcement to make. And by the way, I have not. No. I have not yet to wear one, and I won't. I'm holding out, and I will hold out to the bitter end. I will not
haven't
do
worn
it.
one yet
period.
either.
Me too.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
I'll have to strap me down.
Me too is a completely different thing, Karen.
Yeah,
It's another
no
topic
pound
for
me
another
too.
night.
No pound
What-
me too.
Yeah, exactly. What?
I am extremely. I'm very, very stubborn when it comes to that. But anyway, the announcement I'd make is we have not had any kind of gathering or meeting since the conference, and that's been what, 7 months ago, 8 months now.
Oh, I know.
So we were planning we were gonna have a party here. We planned like the third week in April, but when the lockdown started, we canceled it. And so we decided Angel's here visiting, and anyway, we're going to decided in 2.5 weeks on the 26th, starting at noon on Sunday, we're going to have a party here at a Flat Earth meetup party.
I'll be there.
So Master Gunner, Brian, you want to come on down? I'd love to have you here.
I'll bring the twins again too. Yep.
Yeah, maybe you won't have a car problem this time. You can stay longer.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah.
Send me all the details to it, and I will make a promo for you.
Yeah, Will. We're gonna have plenty of air conditioning this time. I learned my lesson last time, and we had just a lot of people showed up. And I'm gonna try to keep it, maybe do an RSVP so I know who's coming and how many people. I don't get too many people here.
Okay.
So I think I'd try to keep it limited about 50 or so.
Okay.
But based on last time, I think about 80 people showed up off and on last time. But and I've got all my artwork displayed out. I've got the room fixed up really nice. So I'm going to do some videos and show what it looks like before the party and kind of hype it up a little bit. That would be fun just to get together for a change because we've been so separated for so long.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree. Good idea.
Well, that's about it. Other than just got plenty of work and been busy busy beaver here lately.
Okay.
I have a quote that I thought was really cool,
Sure.
and it says, "Like water, be gentle and strong. Be gentle enough to follow the natural paths of the earth, and strong enough to rise up and reshape the world." And that's by Brenda Peterson.
Nice. Nice.
So,
Well said.
yeah.
Very good.
Okay. Well, it was nice to talk to you guys, and big howdy from Texas. Oh, and a friend of mine went to Walmart the other day without a mask, and they had the cart completely filled up, and they called the police on him, and the cop came in and said, "You have to leave the store." And he just left the cart there full of stuff and said, "Okay, see you later. Won't be shopping here anymore."
Nice.
So, yeah,
Nice.
glad people are standing up. I wish everybody would.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
we'll see.
we'll
By the
see.
way, your rant you did tonight was very good, Mark. All your rants, you're building up to a crescendo here. I can tell.
Well, thank
the
you.
Suspense. But very well done. I look forward every Tuesday to hear the latest from you.
All right.
So,
All right. Well, thank you for that.
well,
All right. You have a good one.
I'll get back to.
Say it one more time.
I was going to say goodbye, and I will talk to y'all later.
Okay. See you, man.
Take care.
All right. Let's go out to where are we going? You know what? Let's stay in Texas. Let's do 214 area code. It's you, me, Karen B, and Master Gunner. What's happening?
Hello. Wasn't nice to hear from Chris again.
It's Jan. Hi, Jan.
Yeah. Hello. Let's see. I really did like your rant too, and I did
Thank
have
you.
a song in my head when you were reading that. That was very well done. Of course, as always, professional. And a couple of things on Conway. Considering he's black, some people, and he's friends with President Trump, or I guess Trump before he was president, that they like each other. And someone was thinking that maybe Conway could bring in the black vote. And normally when someone doesn't win, then they give their support to the person that is going to actually run for the office. So maybe that could be a strategy there.
Maybe. I mean, if
Uh-huh.
he could, I know you're kind of thinking of like the Ross Perot thing that happened. I just don't think Kanye.
No, not really.
I
Different,
don't
yeah.
think Kanye can get those sort of numbers. I mean, yeah, he might be able to pull some of the black vote, but can he convert that into Trump voters? I don't know.
Well, the thing is if he just pulls theoretically enough away from Biden,
Maybe.
you have
Maybe.
two losers, allows the other guy not to have as many to win. That's the whole Ross Perot thing, honestly. If you think about it, I still don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he can do it. But you never know. A lot of people said Trump was never going to run for president too. So right. Hey.
Yeah, again, anyone wants to watch the first 7 minutes of Fahrenheit 11/9, you'll witness the horror.
Yes.
So, what else you got, Jan?
This may not be maybe kind of out of place here, but that Werner von Braun back in like 1974, and Carol Rosen, his secretary or associate, about the space-based weapons to fight a false flag, and
Right.
that being aliens.
Yeah,
Do you think that anything you would think of in the future to talk about?
Yeah, the Werner von Braun prophecy, as it's known, where he told his secretary as he was dying, not literally on his deathbed, but he wasn't doing well. He died back in the late 70s. Was that he said the final trick that they were going to pull was to stage some sort of fake alien invasion. I mean, it's great. I still love the idea, and I think it's great on the drawing board. But you don't do it unless you need to. And I think that's what they're kind of testing the waters with right now is like, wow, America's fallen in line pretty quickly. We may not even have to pull out the big guns. So, but then again, would it be a real? But yes, I will talk about this in the future. I swear. But first, I got to get through the eventual dying down of the whole mask and the virus thing, and then moving into the next phase, which is the big. The ultimate vaccine hype, which they will push. Oh God, you think the pushing spikes and cases and deaths and all that? You think they're doing that now? You wait. They will literally push the vaccine like it's the second coming.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So many won't take it, and I've got too many, a lot of friends, but those that will take it, just sad for what they would put in that thing. Just bad what they're putting into it now. So anyway, you guys, when I was holding, I could hear you and Karen visiting, and it was silent. So just to let you know. And so anyway, you guys take care, and hello to Brian.
All right.
Hi.
Thank you, Jan. And we will talk again soon.
All righty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so let's jump up to the northwest. Let's go to 425. 425, are you that dreamy hunka that I was watching strut around on the beach the other day?
Hey, yeah, that was me. But Brian was there too, so that's all good. So yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought
it's 11:11.
Dun dun dun.
It is.
It's 10:11.
Well, 11 where Karen is.
11:11.
So what's up, Ted?
Carolinas, it's great. I know you divulged more into the event, the beach trip that we all went to last week, but it was like pre-COVID days there. It was amazing.
Pre-COVID days.
No one had masks except for the people working concessions or RV park. It was insane. Everyone was no social distancing. Everyone talking, touching, hanging out at the beach, having a good time. You thought you were in a completely different world. It's amazing.
Tell me more about the touching, Ted. I really want to know more.
It's just getting
well.
weird.
I was mostly touching Karen, but so there's that.
Was there lotion
also,
involved?
It's a pretty wicked.
Oh my God.
We don't wear no stinking lotion.
Nice.
But she also has a great she has a great wrist for things like when we were flat smacking the area.
Yeah.
We were driving up and down the RV park and the golf cart and flicking flatter flyers and business cards and whatnot, even flat smacked a group of teenagers.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah.
really great. Cool. Yeah, it was fun. I was really glad you did that video because it was nice to see everyone at the beach and having fun, which is what it's all about. And the restrictions, again, because it's America, you can only do it seriously unless you really come up with something to scare people. Americans, they're like, yeah, whatever. They get bored, they get restless, and it's like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
You just wave it off. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So cool.
We're all a bunch of stubborn Americans, I know.
We are. We are. We do our own thing. We always have, and we do not like being told what to do. And especially if you don't have anything to back it up with. Again, if my neighbor was attacked by a zombie, and that'd be one thing. It'd be like, hey, you know what? I'm not going outside. There's zombies out there. But if I never see them, I'm not going to believe in them. That's the big thing with Americans. Like, I never saw it. That's just something you saw on TV.
Yeah.
So, well, good. I'm glad you guys did.
Yeah, because this zombie apocalypse sucks.
I know, right? That was my thing. It's like it's a bait and switch. If you're gonna tell me that all sorts of people are gonna drop like flies, my God, you better make it like the trailer. If the movie isn't, go ahead.
I was waiting there with a lawn chair and a beer, waiting to see the bodies drop, and I never saw it.
Exactly. I get geared up for a movie. If I see a good trailer, I get my popcorn. If I'm disappointed, I'm gonna let you know. And I will tell my friends, don't go see this movie. It sucks.
It's nonstop. It's like Karen said earlier. It's like, this is, do or die time. It's like, you can either be a full-time truther, or you can just be with the blue pillars, wearing the mask, running frantically and being timid about everything and anything and everything.
Yeah.
Or else you be on the front line. I try to COVID smack any person I encounter on the street. It's just because I'm tired of the stupid lies.
Yep.
And what it's leading to.
Yep, I hear you. Again, next week I will be kind of explaining the tactics of how that's all gonna change in a weird way, but everyone will get it. It'll be like, oh right, this is what's gonna happen now. So we'll see. We still got a chance. I still have faith in America. I still love this country. Still know where I'd rather be. But we're coming down. We're coming down to it now, and we got to do something.
Yeah, come to the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's like get out there, or just get behind your mask.
Yeah, put up or shut up. Yep.
Or nut up or shut up.
Nut up or shut up. I'm in the ass kicking business.
All right.
Business is good.
Yes.
All right, man.
All right. Have a great night.
All right. See you, man. All right. There goes Ted. Which is weird because I'm sure he's like sitting right next to Karen, stroking her raven-like hair. Let's go out to 312. 312. Have you ever called in before?
A year ago, yes. This is Nick.
Hey.
Go on, Mark.
What's happening?
It's like, hey, man. So I'm like thinking of that movie, Happy Gilmore, where he's like, you got to cherish it. You got to cherish. Like, a year ago, I wish I was still like that, back then as today. But today it's just a totally different atmosphere. Anyway, so I got a solution. So in terms of fighting the whole narrative, why not just organize with instead of having flat earth meetups, you just organize with 10 people or more and go to the grocery store without masks, and then just, the people with masks on, they're going to say, where's all these people coming that are not wearing masks? So then you don't, worry about being singled out. So if you go in with a group of more than 10 people, then you're going to be like, then it's like they're not going to be able to, go after everything.
I like it.
So it's
peaceful
like, that would
protest.
be fun. That'd be
a peaceful,
masks.
a peaceful merchandise protest. Yeah, I can see that.
A group of people peacefully going into a store that requires a mask. I like it.
Yeah,
good idea.
So it'd be organized but peaceful, but be fun. I think
Sure.
I've gone to trek bicycles in my bicycle sticks, no mask. They didn't say anything. Walk in there like you own the place. They don't say nothing. Then the workers are fixing the bicycles. They take their mask off. That's what happened yesterday. They had their mask on and see me it took two guys took their mask off. I'm like, hey, it's working. And then Starbucks, they didn't say anything. I'm just walking in there and just like, hey, they don't say anything. I think they're tired of actually telling people to put the mask on. I think that's what they're so tired of going after people.
Right.
It's just like,
right.
They're like, why bother? Why bother telling them? So anyway.
I bought a mask that I'm hoping if I ever have to, I'm really saving it for something long term, like an airplane flight or something like that. But I bought it because some planes you're just not gonna be able to get on without a mask right now. And it is lit. And I got the idea from one of the posts on Godlike Productions, which is a great forum with all sorts of wonderful links and lots of conspiracy guys on there. But it is a airsoft. It's an airsoft mask. And it looks like a regular mask, but it is absolutely freaking mesh. I mean, you don't get. I mean, you could stick a coffee straw through the holes in this thing, and it looks like a regular mask. And this guy wore this thing, and he was walking around different grocery stores, and nobody questioned him. Why? Because the quality of the mask is never in question. It's a compliance thing. As long as you're wearing a mask of any kind.
That's the point, though. That's why we shouldn't do it, because it's
No. I agree. I agree with you. But if you're in a place where you absolutely, I know you haven't done it yet, but if you're in a place where you have to wear a mask, at least get something that's comfortable. And by that, I mean ridiculously comfortable, like this thing, because the air just passes through it. It's meant for outdoor, like paintball games and airsoft games and crap like that. It's not meant for any sort of stopping anything other than like marbles. So I get that this week, and I'm going to save it. But I guarantee, I mean, the guy was a perfect example. He's like, look, at least if I have to wear one, like in his case, stores that they would not let him in, he goes, I'm going to be comfortable. And but the point is that the mask that he was wearing literally does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. And any mask that anyone's wearing, I don't care if it's a 95 mask or
nothing.
They do nothing. And anyone that questions that, if they're listening to this, if you can smell something when you're wearing your mask, it does nothing. I'm not talking about just cigarette smoke. I'm talking about any smells outside of that mask. If you can smell stuff getting through, then it's not helping you.
Also, any movie where they have germs or viruses and all that, don't they always have to pull on full gear? They never walk around with just a mask,
right?
Like a full-on hazmat suit,
right? I know in the Army when they, we had biological warfare. Training and all that. They never said just put a mask on, you'll be good.
No, like the movie Mark talks about, right? Contagion. Is that
Contagion? Oh yeah.
They have like full-on suits.
Mark.
Also, an Outbreak. They did.
It is strictly, again, for those who are new to this, the masks are strictly a test. They are a dry run to see how many people are going to go along with the program. And it has done, and the peer pressure, again, the masks aren't quite, and I'll explain it next week. The masks are not the vaccine. They're completely different animals. However, the peer pressure got to everyone with the masks to, again, where people wore them. There was a lot of people wearing them that know they shouldn't be wearing them just because they don't want to be hassled. Period. They're wearing masks in grocery stores. I've run into them. And it's like, it's easier for them. Human beings take the path of least resistance, and it's less effort to wear the mask and not get hassled, rather than risk getting crap from people. And so that's why they do it. And that's the big test, which we like, okay, well, apparently 90% of the people we can get them to wear masks. We'll see. Now we move it to the next stage and see what we can do. That's going to be the curious time.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else you got?
Won't they how about those movies with those bank robbers where they just put the pantyhose over their faces?
Right.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah,
people went in there just, hey, that's a mask.
I used to wear those when I robbed banks, and those are still pretty hot. They're still, they seem. I mean, yeah, you get a lot of air, but it's not. It's the rest of it's so freaking hot. I mean, now if you cut like a big circle and wore it just around your mouth and nose, maybe. But that's tough to do.
Just use fishnet.
Right.
Yeah, you could do fishnet. Yeah.
Be funny.
I mean, seriously, you could walk into a grocery store right now with a catcher's mask, and I don't think anyone would question you. I really don't. Any other things?
Yeah. No, that's about it. No, I just wanted to give that idea out in terms of, organizing, going grocery shopping with a bunch of your friends and, fight back the narrative, in terms of getting peer pressure. But, switch it on them, turn the tables on them and use our influence.
Probably make the local news.
We're the silent majority, but we're not silent.
Yeah, so. Well, I don't know if you'd make the local news because the news isn't allowed to cover some of those things now.
That's why I said local.
Girl that was covered in the news. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got, Mark.
Okay. All right, man. Well, thank you very much, and don't be a stranger.
All right. Sounds good. Good night.
Bye. Okay. We are coming up to our final break, and it's been just wonderful listening to everybody. Phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Hey, Karen, what's the next podcast you're going to be doing?
That will be Thursday. I'll be unveiling this realm with Brian Stavely.
What do you think of that Brian Stavely guy? He seems like kind of a jackass sometimes.
Yeah, he's a little shady sometimes, for sure.
I mean, I saw him on the beach, and I just wanted to punch him. When I saw him in that beach video.
That's not nice.
All right. I just want to take that bodyboard that he was sporting. I want to crack him over the head with it. Is that wrong?
Why are you being so violent, Mark? It's very unlike you.
What? Sorry, I'm feisty. You know why? Because I'm thinking about America. I'm thinking about how people have eventually, the Americans were going to pull through, but by God, don't wait till the last minute. It's about,
they will.
Freedom ain't free. Blah, blah, blah. What's that song you were singing, Karen, earlier?
Don't you do it.
It's the song they play at those military bases, like every morning.
Every freaking morning. No, that's the evening, and that's okay. That's different.
How do you know the words to that, Karen?
How do I know the words to that? Because I was married to a military man who liked music, unfortunately.
All right. We need somebody to check to see if we are going to commercial. Remember, we got a 5-second lag because the commercials are not working. I'm going to have to shoot Chris and you. Chris, you listening? Your commercials aren't working for the studio side. It's not working. All right, we got to be going on now. Okay, so 3 minutes. You guys go do something, and we'll be back.
Work and stretch, go pee, cuppa.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Hey, Strange World with Mark and Karen and sometimes Master Gunner.
Doing a kids show now?
Right.
I don't think you could do a kids show with the language you two uses.
Welcome back to Strange World, kids. What time is it? It's call-in time. Our first call is going to be from the shiny, wonderful city of New York. Do you know where New York is? I bet you do. Let's pick up 845 and sing along. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it.
Fuck New York. This place sucks.
Yep, so much for the kids radio.
God. Yeah, sorry guys. It's so terrible. It's just so stupid. They don't know what the hell they're doing with schools. I mean, nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody's just out of their minds, man. Out of their minds.
I read a thing on Russia Today about, there was somebody that wrote about how he couldn't even recognize New York anymore, and he thought that if they keep this up, they'll be. In fact, here's the headline: I was born in New York, and I've never seen the city so scared and uninhabitable. I fear we're on the brink of a second civil war. And that's one of the headlines from Russia Today.
Wow.
Yeah, insane. Well, I mean, of course, some of that is definitely, fear porn.
Hype.
But
Yeah, of course.
it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
But New York is one of the hot spots for the media. The narrative they're pushing out, they're only pushing it. Uh-oh, we lost Zulu.
What?
I don't know.
I guess we lost New York.
Well, hang on. I'll pick him up again. 1 second. Zulu, what'd you do?
That was weird. I didn't do anything.
No, you dropped
They're
off.
censoring me, those bastards. They're censoring me.
Well, again, when you're pushing the narrative, again, the general public doesn't get this. You're only pushing this from like 4 or 5 states: New York, Florida, Texas, and sometimes California. Washington is almost all but forgotten. What's been if it wasn't for the Chaz/Chop thing that happened, we wouldn't even be on the radar. So you guys are still the big thing. Although CNN said today, what's CNN's big headline right now? 56 Florida hospital ICUs have just hit capacity, which I don't believe for a second.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah. Followed by California, hospitalizations are at an all-time high. Followed by Ohio, deaths and hospitalizations are up. Followed by Texas, county leader wants stay-at-home order. CNN is basically the tip of the spear on this thing. They are going to drive the narrative.
Oh, absolutely.
My state's still good.
Shoving it down people's throats is ridiculous. Hey,
Yep.
Brian.
Yep. They only run 2 headlines
Hi,
nowadays.
Cameron.
That is, CNN says 2 things. One, be afraid because the virus is going to kill you. And Donald Trump's a horrible person. He's going to lose the election and everything he does is wrong. That's
yes.
That's their narratives.
That's it. All day long. All day long.
That's all they do all day long. And they will not. And God help what's going to happen if Trump wins again. CNN will probably have some sort of meltdown because what do you do?
Yeah.
As opposed to the meltdown when he won the first time.
Crying and stuff that went on. Could you imagine the crying and like fit throwing that would go on the second time?
Oh,
I think they'd probably literally like lay down on the ground and start flailing around and like kicking and screaming.
Yeah, like a tuna.
I want to watch Chris Cuomo cry like a little girl.
Yeah. Well, they'll
hug Don Lemon and cry.
Oh God!
I hate
they
them
will
both.
accuse him of everything if he wins again. I mean, it's one thing, yeah. When he won in 2016, there was a lot of people that were really upset, but after bashing him for 4 years nonstop, and just it's gotten worse and worse. To literally every day on CNN, there's at least a dozen to 20 stories dedicated against Trump. Literally just saying. And the only reason they're worded differently is because they can't all be the same headline, which is "We hate Trump." That's all it's saying.
Right.
Otherwise, it'd be part 2, part
God.
58, part 127. It would just never end, and that's all they're doing. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, Zulu. So you're in the state with the biggest narrative right now. You guys, they're counting on they're counting on you and Cuomo to push this thing. He's got to come on every once in a while and challenge the president and say, oh no, things are really bad here. I mean, you just announced, I think it was yesterday, 3 more states that you're excluding from I don't even know.
You bastard. You excluded my state now. They added that. What the hell's up with that?
Huh? They did
Oklahoma. Yes, they did.
I
Yes,
I don't know
They
about
added-
that, but all go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Oh no, I was just going to say I don't know about all that, but I'm voting for Fort Burton when they change the names. I want to go to Fort Burton.
No, you don't.
Fine. And I thought we couldn't say Master Gunner. Oh shit, I said it. I thought it has to be Blank Gunner.
Oh, you know what? Nathan Fowler wrote in. He just messaged me, and he said, "Well, no, this is a headline. We might as well bring this up. You know what? Let's talk about something fun, which is let's talk about Ghislaine. Let's talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. We should take a bet. I want bets from everybody. Will she live to testify, And if she dies, when?
She will live, but she will not testify.
Was she really arrested?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think I don't think they'll kill her, but I don't think she'll testify. Something will come up where she won't testify.
I don't even know if I believe that she was arrested. I think it's all just a
You know what, Karen? I'm not going to shoot that down because it is a sexy distraction, which is we've all seen well, I shouldn't say
at the wall right now. Like, who was it, William earlier, who said, I think we're heading to chaos? I think we're already in chaos.
Yeah.
No, we're not in chaos yet.
It could be worse, I'm sure. I'm not going to ask. I don't want to be the one who asks.
It's not unbridled chaos yet, but you're right. The stuff there,
chaos. It's induced chaos by the mainstream media.
Yeah.
It's one distraction after another.
Yeah. This particular distraction is interesting because I'll bring up one other thing too. But this particular distraction is interesting because the timing, which is Epstein's video, several documentaries came out on Netflix. One that I watched, and a lot of people were asking the same thing. It's like, wow, Epstein, died, and a lot of people went down, but not all the, not the biggest people went down. It's like, wait a minute, what happened to his girlfriend? And then all of a sudden, wham! Hey, she was in the States, and we grabbed her.
In New Hampshire of all places.
In New Hampshire of all places, and and she's got the goods.
Would she be anywhere near the United States? Seriously.
Oh yeah, no, I would never leave England if I was her, or where. I mean, the word was she was in Israel or she was in the Middle East, or yeah, I know. It's a great tabloid story. It's a fantastic tabloid story. The other thing I got to mention real fast was you guys probably saw the protesters that were hit in Seattle on the freeway recently. Those two girls.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
What's wrong with them?
Well, here's the thing. What was interesting was that the mayor, when she was talking about Chop and Chaz, and you guys probably saw this, they were asking the mayor what she thought it might turn, that might turn out. She goes, "Oh, it might be the summer of love," and that was one of the quotes that floated around the internet, right? So the two girls that were hit, and David Weiss will love this if he's still listening, and he might be going to bed. The two girls that were hit, I couldn't make this up. Only two girls went to the hospital. The first one, her first name was Summer, and the second one, her last name was Love. What are the odds?
Wow.
Of course.
I know, right?
So Summer of Love's been hit on the freeway. Cool.
Exactly. And again, the police were mystified how the Jaguar, it was an expensive car, got onto the freeway, and there were several cars that got onto the freeway simultaneously. All had their hazard lights on. And, we don't know anything about, I haven't heard any follow-up story on who they arrested, if they were arrested. But the closing down of the freeways was removed at that point because the protesters just kept going out there every night and shutting down Interstate 5. And it's like, as soon as those two supposedly got hit, it's like, well, because it was inconvenient. So I don't think they can control all the protests. There's certain factions, that go off and find a loophole in the system and they exploit it. So very, very interesting. Anyway, so Zulu, you think she's going to live to testify or not?
No, they're going to Epstein her.
Sure. Nice.
I think so for sure.
It's a verb now. Karen thinks it's all fake. Brian Burton thinks.
Well, it is fake,
I think
but that's the report they're going to give us.
Okay, if she's really arrested, she will not be killed. She will not testify, though. They'll come up with something, some kind of deal or something, but it won't be released, and they'll just save it for maybe another distraction later or something.
Maybe like a gag order, where it's like she knows so many people that it's.
They'll do. We're investigating what we've been told by her, and can't talk about the investigation. The investigation will take 3 or 4 years, or whatever the hell,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Until they need to pull it out as another distraction for something else.
Yeah, maybe.
Exactly. They'll probably just milk
Good one.
And it does put her in the limelight in an era right now where there's literally no celebrities because the celebrities aren't making anything. There's no new television shows. There's no new movies. That's the other thing, by the way, is if you follow mainstream media, there is going to be a gap or a lag in media really soon, which is, unless they fire up the studios, even when they fire up the studios, there's going to be this big gap where there's nothing out there.
Well, they just play
yeah. I've surfed everything on the internet. I'm done.
Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah.
I started watching Highlanders, the TV show again.
They can just play reruns.
Yeah, see?
Well, yeah, they can do reruns, Karen, but there's...
I was considering Xena. I was going to go back and watch those.
Ah, Gabrielle.
Nice.
Yes.
Old school. Shot in New Zealand, by the
Man,
way.
here with the mask stuff, it's only the big corporate entities here in New York that are or my area that are pushing the mask. Walmart, Target, the Quick Check gas station.
My Walmart's not pushing it. That's the funny thing.
Walmart's not
really?
pushing.
Yeah, here they are.
Nobody.
Well, it's New York
pushing it.
Well, New York.
New York has to set the example. They have to for the media.
But all the smaller, independently owned places, they're like, whatever. They don't care. They're just happy somebody's spending money in their shop. They don't give a shit.
It should be. That's
and like you said, idiots. You wear a mask. What about your eyes? Hello, that's still a way to get contact things. I mean, it's just all ridiculous. All of it is ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
And here's a distraction story. The Supreme Court was trying to address the Electoral College, and
they'll still
remove it.
Yeah,
that'll never happen. I know. I have a quote for you. I have two quick quotes.
Sure.
And you'll probably guess who it's from. Secret operations are essential in war. Upon them, the army relies to make its every move. And thus, and there's actually a separate quote, thus, what is of supreme importance in war is to attack the enemy's strategy. And like you guys been saying, they're in our faces with all subliminal stuff on TV. They're attacking everybody. We can't sit around and not talk to people and not say things. This is the time. You got to stand up. We're going to get rolled over. I wore the mask in the Quick Check, but I tell you what, everyone in that fucking store knew I didn't want to wear it. Even the state troopers who came over and talked to me, and I explained everything to them, and they were like, holy shit. They had no idea. They've been so programmed. They had no idea any of the things that I explained about this stuff. I said, when you're standing outside and you could smell somebody smoke through that mask, smoking a cigarette, that means the virus could pass through it too. So it's not saving you or helping you. And they're like, holy shit, why do we wear these? And I'm like, exactly. I told them I'm an EMT. They most of them are EMTs, so they understood when I started talking about the things, and they're like, holy shit, that's fucked up. Just had no idea. Yeah, you're right. It is definitely, people need to stand up. And I'm home right now, like Ron from H-Town says, posted like a mailbox. Shout out to Mark, Karen, Brian B, Carla Red Pill, the chat, Ron, and of course Dottie's World, the best. Love you guys.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
All right, man. Hey, have a good one.
Oh, and by the way, when you were talking about movies that sucked, were you talking about The Last Airbender? Because that movie sucked.
That movie was terrible. M. Night Shyamalan should have never signed on to that. It was awful. Just god awful.
Oh my god. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.
All right, Zoo.
I took my son to see that stupid movie because he was all excited about it.
Dude, you have got that is why Rotten Tomatoes, granted they are owned by Fandango, but you got to read some of the reviews before you go to a movie like that.
I put that up.
That was The Last Airbender, which was based on a cartoon. It was kind of CGI superhero type-ish movie with Asian overtones. And
I never watched cartoon. Like I said, my son was into it and wanted to go to it, so I took him. He was 13 or 14 when he did that. And it was terrible. That was almost as bad as Highlander 2, I have to admit. It was bad.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. I saw Highlander 2 in the theater.
We're not supposed to talk about that movie. We're not supposed to talk about it.
It was awful. There were people booing in the theater when I was there. It was that bad. Because some of the premises, it's like, wow. Because, you make sequels just to make money, because you just based on the title. and some of them they get made. And
well, that's why they did the third Highlander, just to erase the second one.
Right. But a little trivia for you, as you know, I know a lot about movies. What is the losingest? I don't know if it's changed recently. The movie that lost the most money ever.
Waterworld?
No, Waterworld went over budget, but they made a lot of it back because it was Kevin Costner, and it was still a pretty fun movie. But yeah, they lost not because of Waterworld lost money because one of their set pieces got caught in a storm and sunk, which was really horrible. No, and you'll know this movie. Karen might not, because she's 31 years old, which is Hudson Hawk.
Oh wow!
Yeah, remember that movie?
Yeah, that
big budget, big cast, and that they couldn't sell it. They didn't know how to market it. So they were just stuck, and they just couldn't get anyone in the theater. It just confused people. How do you market? There's some movies you just can't market. There's some great stuff out there that it's really tough to do a trailer for and get word of mouth. So, yeah, there you go. Hudson Hawk.
Wow.
All right.
That's terrible.
So let's look at the headlines real quick. See if there's anything just before we sign off. See if there's anything. Fox News is running. Their top story is Education Secretary calls out adults who are fear-mongering over school reopenings. That'll be the new battle because schools have no idea what to do. And remember, it's different from junior high to high school to universities. You've got to handle them all differently because they're completely different institutions. Some people are calling it school theater. And depending on how you're doing it, because they're putting circles in the hallways, and people can't, kids can't go to lunch, and they have designated bathroom breaks, which I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to do that.
Yeah, that really works well with a bunch of first graders. Yeah,
designated bathroom breaks. Yeah. Again, the primary schools are, and that's coming up. That's a couple months. When do primary?
Couple weeks for some areas.
Really?
A lot of schools start in August. Yeah.
Children out of school if things if they go full retard, for sure.
I'm putting my boys back online school. I am. I'm looking into it to put them back online. I'm not going to send them to because here's a problem I have.
Yeah.
Their children need stability halfway. I'm going to send them to the school, and they're going to shut down because somebody coughed, and they're going to shut down for a week, or they're going to do it. No. I'm going to put them online school. That way, at least they'll be steady. Sadly.
That's good. That's good.
So that's what I'm doing. Damn it. Because school's already said they're going to do that anyways. If we have to shut down, you'll have to do it online. Well, I might also just do someone who's got it set up anyways.
Yes. Let's see here. Trump's niece got her book out.
Yeah.
Yep. Said he cheated on the SATs. I don't think that's going to affect his candidacy much.
Probably not.
And NBC's running. The U.S. has run more than 3 million cases now, which is dumb, by the way. Keep elevating the cases, but not elevating the deaths. That is not going to help the narrative. But
no. That drops the percentage rate. But people are gonna, they're gonna see the cases, and again, if you keep saying that over and over, cases, people forget about the deaths part. Mm-hmm.
They don't. And how blood type may affect your corona risk. Let's see here. Millions are going hungry as pandemic erodes incomes and destroys communities. Blah blah blah. Yeah, wonderful stuff. This is where we are. Oh, yeah, and my favorite, Tom, it's an exclusive from NBC. Tom Hanks says, "It's a mystery to me why more Americans aren't taking the virus seriously."
No, it isn't. Tom Hanks is a shilly little shitbag liar.
Yeah,
he's an actor.
There's very few. Yeah, he's one of the worst. He's like one of the worst people in Hollywood.
Very few actors that I can actually say are on the top of my list for being an actual operative, but You know, but anyone's out there, you got to know that you are going to hire some actors, plain and simple. You're going to hire some to work for you and spread certain messages. He just seems so blatant, though. Because remember, he was the first one to come out. Remember that when this whole thing started? He and his wife.
That's right. He had it. That's
well,
right.
Immediately. He was like the first celeb out of the gate.
That's
exactly.
Right. He did.
And then they were saying that they were going to use his blood for a vaccine. Do you remember that bullshit too?
Oh God, no, I didn't hear that one. But
I didn't hear that one.
Because they had the antibodies that they were going to donate some of their blood so that they could make a vaccine.
But he survived, so hey, Tom Hanks can survive. So can you. So it must not be that bad. That's my slogan.
Of course, he's also promoting his new movie, Greyhound, adapted from the World War II novel, The Good Shepherd, which premieres on Apple TV this Friday.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually going to watch that. That looks interesting, I have to admit.
So he's killing two birds in one stone. And yes, here we go. Hanks, 63, posted on Instagram March 11th, early on in the game. He said that while in Australia, he and his wife, the actor and producer Rita Wilson, had come down with symptoms resembling a cold, as well as body aches and slight fevers.
So a cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was the first celebrity to get it.
Yep. Amazing.
First
right?
celebrity to get it. And then
that-
not only that, he was posting pictures of his freaking typewriter, his vintage Corona typewriter that he travels with to Australia.
Yep.
Like, who the hell travels around with a vintage typewriter?
He doesn't just use a pencil like he did in the movie?
It's
Mark
just
gets
dumb. All of it is just dumb.
What, not Apollo 13?
No, Private Ryan. Remember, he told the kid to pack his bags up. Let's go. And he's trying to pack his typewriter, and he held up a pencil.
Oh, right. Wow, that is and I have seen that movie a few times.
Yeah.
That by the way, I know we're running out of time here. That movie, Saving Private Ryan, I consider the finest sweeping war epic in the history of movies. But that was when I lost faith in the Hollywood voting system because it lost. Steven Spielberg directed it.
Yeah.
And it lost to Shakespeare in Love with Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, I watched Shakespeare in Love, and it's fine and all that, but
it's no Private Ryan.
It's no Private Ryan, for God's sakes. And Spielberg got Best Director, and that was when they split it. It's like Best Director always gets Best Picture. Nope, not in this case. Spielberg got Best Director, and Shakespeare in Love got Best Picture. Bunch of BS. What else? What should we close with? Next week, I'm going to be talking about the plan. What I think is going to happen in the next 6 months. Not 6 weeks, Karen. You guys got anything special lined up next week? Anything?
I got my sister's visiting with her family from Maryland, and my niece is a teacher, so I'm gonna have fun talking to her.
Nice. We'll find out what everyone's gonna be doing.
I will.
If the president came out, because it was the president that started this again from the universities on down. If he's pushing all these schools to open, I'm sure there are schools out there that are just going to be panicking.
Well, for the record, the president's pushing for everything to open.
Of course.
So.
Of course.
For the record.
All right. Well, Hey, you know what? We will be back next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. My thing looks like it's going to be going to music here in a second. So we'll do this early. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Ted. Can you hear me?
Good night, Ted.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to say that?
Well, no, is he listening? Is he really close?
No, I don't. I can't see him.
Oh, no, that's fine. Say goodnight, Master Gunner.
Good night. Sleep tight. Pleasant dreams to all.
And God bless America.
Fuck you.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.